Just had a lie-in. Haven't really filmed any videos recently, so I thought I'd do a bit of an update, rant, blah, 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 what's going on with me and the world and whatever. I'm alive. Um, yep, still working on the cucumber hothouse farm, as well as the green kiwi fruit started this week. Normally I work Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday in the hothouse, like 5 hours in the morning. But I think with the green kiwi fruit, they're planning to do like 12 hours every day or 13 hours every day, 5 days straight, possibly a sixth day, just to get it all done, because they've got a certain window where they need to get it all packed. So I got a message from the pack house again that was like, we may or may not need you on Monday, but we won't tell you for sure until Sunday night. And I was like, okay. So I got the Monday off, but I didn't want to cancel my whole other week of work because who knows what's going to happen. In hindsight, I probably should have just asked for Tuesday off. It probably would have been fine, and then I could have had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because Wednesday is my day off normally anyways. But anyways, what ended up happening is I got the Monday off. I worked at the pack house Monday, and then Monday night I sent a message saying I'm not available tomorrow morning, but I can come in the afternoon and then come back on Wednesday. And they were just like, no, if you can't come in, you can't come in. You're done. Don't bother contacting us. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, let me know if you need anyone. And then they probably will. Like, it's so stupid the way they organize that place. Like, they'll probably have a bunch of people who have no idea what they're doing, have never worked there before, but because they have nothing else, they're like the chosen staff. Whereas I feel like if you just allowed people who knew what they were doing to come in, you wouldn't need as many people, so it would actually be more cost effective, but they don't want the admin having to track people, even though there's like no guaranteed hours and like zero notice for when you have to show up. So that's a bit special, but I sort of knew that already. I think that's one of the reasons why I wasn't super dedicated to doing the pack house thing. But I mean, like 3 days would have been a week and a half of work, like where I am now in terms of hours. Anyways, but I much prefer the hothouse, and me missing days there is like more detrimental than me missing days at the pack house, because they've got so many people and they don't even notice when there's extra people or people missing, really. So yeah, I worked one day. Hopefully they'll pay me for it. And then now I have today off, which is my normal day off, Wednesday. But I could be working. But anyways, it's a beautiful day, so I'll probably do some work around the place. I'll just show you what we've done. This has got, I haven't done any of that, but this has got cleared. And that little rock base is for the wall that will eventually be there. So that's exciting. And also council in New Zealand is talking about having less permits required for these small structures that are not like really houses. It's like a shed or whatever whatever that's gonna be called. But so that's exciting. I think that's supposed to get people moving and building stuff and spending money on materials and tradespeople. Just did this concreting, which actually has no concrete in it. It's still a bit wet, but getting better. It's lime mixed with sand, mixed with dirt and pumice. Or maybe there's no dirt in it. I think we didn't put dirt this time. So yeah, it was just pumice and sand and lime with a bit of seawater. But yeah, it's coming along. So now this post is nearly there. It's about half full because it's on, you can't really see, but it's on an angle. So like that one looks like it's above the ground because these ones are at the top of the slope. So these back ones need to actually be slightly above the ground to make it level. So this is sort of halfway there, basically, long story short. So that'll be a ongoing project. I was really happy to get into that because we've been talking about it for a long time. But did manage to finish that one ages ago, so that's good. We're almost done with the concreting. Here's all the materials for that. This Feijoa got trimmed. Oh wait, no, there it is. Ooh, there it is. You can see that little gap. Didn't used to be there before. Kept sort of the chicken side a bit more full, just so that it's a windbreaker during the winter. And so I've started moving the branches into that pile over there. I'll walk over there. But that'll be another job to get that all into this pile, out of the way, and then in a little bit I'm gonna start doing the lawns. It's still a bit wet though, because it's still kind of early morning, but I'm gonna go check. Yeah, I think the sun will dry it out so it's not quite so sopping from the dew. Yeah, that's the pile. I've also sort of done some hay around these trees that you can kind of see. It was this wood chip that I've now moved to this corner. That was me being a bit proactive and thinking like, these trees are really small. When it doesn't get mowed, it's hard to see them and people bump into them and damage them. So put the wood chips around with cardboard. But then found out that that is bad for the drainage or something, supposedly. So, and it also makes it a bit difficult to mow because then wood chips get into the mower. So I decided to move it and just make it hay because that seems to be her preference for stuff around trees. But might think about doing it in the trees in the front, but I'll ask first because I think there's only so much hay left, although I'm sure there'll be more purchased sooner or later. So that's that. Not really sure what I'll do with this day off. I'm probably just going to do little cleanup projects around the property that I've been putting off. Maybe when it gets warmer I'll go on a little walk or something. Crazy what's been happening in the world. New Zealand, in terms of the quarantine, is like almost normal again, and now they're talking about doing a bunch of big sports shows here, and then I wonder if musical performances will follow and what's happening with that. They're talking about opening the borders to Australia and maybe some of the Pacific Islands, so it might end up being one of the first safe venues for people who need audiences to do whatever it is. We're talking about a boxing match and also rugby and maybe other team sports like that. So that should be interesting. I'm thinking about at the beginning of July to go down to maybe Waipu or somewhere just south of Whangarei and just having a bit of a change of scene. Got the car part that I needed for the CV. Basically, my boyfriend just ripped off the whole joint from another Subaru. So for some reason, just the little CV part doesn't fit, then he can just replace the whole bit, which I think he's probably going to do anyways, because I don't know, it just seems like a thing that he would want to do. So hopefully that'll get done soon. And then there's a tiny leak where the radiator is taking in air now, so that's a fun new issue with the car. Not a super major, it's not a lot, but it just means I have to sort of check it every day or so, especially if I do longer trips, to fill up the radiator because it's not pulling in back from the little holding tank when it heats up and it goes out that little plastic bit. And so I just have to keep remembering to fill it up. Luckily it's not too cold, so it's just water, like I'm not wasting coolant. But if we were in Canada, that'd be a major problem because you can't just be leaking coolant everywhere all the time. But in New Zealand, like a bit of radiator hole or whatever, it's probably a head gasket actually. But anyways, we're gonna get some sealant, put that through. That Subaru dealership said that usually works. It's obviously not a huge hole, otherwise we'd see it like spraying everywhere and it'd be a bigger problem. So if it is just like a small fracture somewhere, hopefully that sealant will go through the system and just seal it, and that'll be good because like it's not worth putting too much money in this vehicle. But I think I can sell it at some point, hopefully. But really, if it makes it to the end of my time in New Zealand, that would be more than payment for what I paid for it. So yeah, that's more car dramas. What else? Might leave at the end of July. Chickens are happy, just fed them. And yeah, nothing much else going on. I went fishing the other day, but I think I already made a video about that. There was quite good conditions and I ended up catching some snapper and some kawai that we did eat later. Quite good. And yeah, that's it. I was sort of like motivated to make pancakes this morning, but I haven't done that. I always think I'm gonna make a great big breakfast when I have the day off, but then I end up just like wandering around outside for hours and hours until it's lunchtime, and then it's like, oh, well. Anyways, wow, this is a really long video. I've just been ranting about nothing. But anyways, I hope you're doing well. I will keep the updates coming whenever I feel like it, I guess. And then hopefully have more interesting stuff in July when I change scene and have a bit more time off. Not that I'm super, like, 25 hours a week working isn't like super busy. So I could probably be doing more videos, but I just don't really feel like it, I guess. So, yeah, crazy news back home. I don't even know what to say about it. Our back home, our neighbors to the south, in America. Crazy stuff happening over there. I don't know what to say, like, yeah, I don't know. I think the world is just coming to grips with what's been happening forever already, and so I'm like over it almost, because I've already known this was happening my whole life, really, and like adult life at least. And so when people are like really shocked, like it's their first time realizing that's how it is, I'm just a bit like, yeah, I mean, it's atrocious and horrible, but like it's not like a news, like it didn't seem like a news item. I was like, yeah, that's like, isn't that always what happens? Not because it's okay, but just because it's like routine. So I was actually really surprised by the response and how people are actually doing stuff like government and like, yeah, so crazy. Anyways, I'm gonna go get my day going, and we'll keep you posted, but I hope you're doing well, and I will see you later. Peace.